Good morning, good afternoon, maybe even evening to our friends around the globe. Welcome to SpeedGaming 3 for another week 2 matchup here in the Invitational League in League Season 6. Kaz Boots matchup between CrossKeese and Hime. I'm Ari Stark 2942, and I'm joined on both comms and tracking by Pixcaliber. How are you today, Pixcaliber?
Doing pretty good. It's early morning here, but it's good to wake up with some good casual boots racing today. Should be having a good match between our two runners here.
Yeah, absolutely. We got two people that I believe are from the German community, two outstanding runners, and Cine for CrossKeese, Ravis for Team Hime. Uncle would like both players to text him when they hit go, so that's pretty exciting. And a $100 B right off the bat. Very quick map check. I only caught Red Crystal Eastern. I did not see what was in Desert Palace there. But yeah, for those unfamiliar here, this is the final day of Kaz Boots week here, week 2 in the league. Casual boots, as we know by now, players start with the boots. We saw their dash with this pseudo ghost sword right off the bat, but they got a sword from Uncle. They got a hammer now here too, and they're gonna go through the escape sequence and then move on from there. And Cine, Ravis, two extremely skilled and accomplished players. So this should be a real treat in terms of watching execution, routing, and all aspects of the game.
Yeah, so the first few minutes are same standard stuff. So probably expecting like low fives, like what 510 at most 520, but I would say 510 escape or so.
Yeah, and having this hammer right away allows for getting through some of these rooms a little bit faster. The fourth heart gives you a little bit of grace.
Yeah, so that early map check. So it was a red and eastern, right?
Yeah, I believe so, and I believe it was regular Crystal Hera. It was just Desert Palace that I did not see.
Yeah, Desert was a pendant. Desert was a red pendant.
Interesting. Well, there's that early map, so players going to be opening every bit of this escape sequence. Don't need the bombs for the very back, although you'd certainly love to have them before you get out of Kakariko. Okay, that was a pretty sweet hammer dash by Ravis.
It's up there, and bonus of that being a tempered sword damage, only needing 2 hits to make short work of that ball and chain guy there.
Yeah, Cine, meanwhile, got some really bad RNG from the Green Guard. Ravis didn't get the greatest, but he got rid of him early, but Green Guard followed Cine all the way to Zelda's Cell, so that's a little bit obnoxious, but again, players picked up that early extra heart. They don't really have to worry too much about dying in that section. We're going to find the small key here in Dark Cross, and 3 items in the back, 1 in Sank, and we'll be off from there. But entering today, CrossKeese is 2-1. They have 6 points on the season. Team Hime is looking for its first win, but again, these are 2 extremely proficient and skilled players here, and the Invitational League is no slouch. There's nothing but amazing teams here, so every single win is hard to come by. We've seen so many close matches already, and this is likely to be another one.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of don't get deceived by teams that are like 3-0, 0-3. As you said, a lot of these couple minutes, just rando, just a couple of routing changes. A lot of these races just come to that, and it's probably not too many of those races that one player wins by like 10, 15, 20 minutes. That's actually very rare to see at these levels.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we have 32 teams. All of them are stacked here in the Invitational League, and there are more than enough teams in the Open League who would come in here and be exceptionally competitive too. So this community has been doing exceptionally well in terms of producing more and more skilled players and teams. Ravis, the first to the back of escape, picks up another full heart, 100 rupees, and the mirror, so just don't mirror right now. Yeah.
I mean, that would have been really great for if you got it like at the beginning, Zelda Cell and stuff. That'd probably shave off another 30 seconds at least.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Structural Mike in chat noting that maybe you could host a 4:55 escape time. Oh, if you get that early mirror, we don't want to do it now. Yeah, but very nice times from both players. Ravis got into the door a little bit under 5:10 it seemed. Cine, according to his tracker, has not even started the seed. So
still at 0 time.
No, he's making really good time.
Okay. Standard checks. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Working towards Zora money already.
Yeah, absolutely love that. I mean, both players are going to be right around 450 rupees or so. Oh, exactly 451. See if Cine gets the same tree pull there and gets to 452 as well. There you go. All right, so
Lumberjack, yeah, heart container on Lumberjack.
Yeah, especially in Kaz Boots, there's always the increased likelihood for a potential Aga Seed, but at least the players do not need it for that, and Ravis is going to quickly say no to the heart piece in the woods, as does Cine. Doubt that Ravis really wanted those arrows either. But yeah, these players are basically synced up. Lone difference here is those arrows, but both going to set up that tier 1 tree pull and get some bombs.
Oh, that's a big tree pull there. That just makes Kakariko that much easier. You don't have to waste time going out to buy bombs or just hope for bombs. You have enough right here.
Yeah, absolutely. You open, as you know, you got enough for the 3 checks that require bombs here in CAC. You open the door to have any of these 15 or so items that you get when you have the bottle, as the players do, to have bombs. Otherwise, you can just easily buy them. But nice glove here in Blind's Hut.
Already almost access to Dark World, just needing that Moon Pearl. Hoping it's not on like the Pyramid Ledge. Like weird stuff going on. If it just kind of tosses it to us, we'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a bunch of health and a nice bomb 3-pack there in the well. $20 refund from Bottle Guy, but Ravis using that good game knowledge, selling the bee for 100 rupees, and he is over Zora money at this point. Kind of easy to forget about that bee after you pick that up in the first check of the game.
I mean, it could also be used in mini Moldorm Cave, so that might help a little bit there.
Yeah, that's true. I would definitely be more inclined to keep it in a non Kaz Boots mode, where you don't have that starting sword. You might be only heading down there with bombs or something like that. But Kakariko produced a glove, and that's kind of it. That's a nice 300 to find for Cine, and Ravis is not going to turn that down either, because there's still utility for money outside of the Zora area as well.
Yeah, that pretty much knocks out all the Dark World spending they're going to need to do.
Yeah, both players are in really good shape for money, basically for the entirety of the seed, even if you need to go to Pod, 110 rubies for Kiki, 30 for Chess Game. Well, it'd be interesting to see where these two players head, and it looks like they're both, at the very least, going to start at the dam as they head down to South Shore.
Curious to see if they're just going to go to the right, or is maybe one of them going to take a look at Agina and more money.
Yeah, you're not going to turn down three 300s very early in the seed. Now they're both definitely set for money. The rest of it, they can go on a spending spree if they want.
It's like anytime you see over 1,000 rupees, it's more than enough. And nope, they're both going to go to the right. Yeah, Agina is just one of those checks that's just out of the way. A recent race that it kind of burned both runners. So sometimes it has something and sometimes it doesn't. There it is, the use of that B to help get through that room a little faster.
Oh, nice fire run on the NPC here in Mini Moldorum. That's about it. Yeah, that B took out, I think at least 2 of the 4 Mini Moldorums there for Cine. So we're going to see both players head here to Ice Rod Cave, probably set up the Water Walk. No Moon Pearl, so it'll be interesting to see what decisions they make in terms of the out-of-logic water checks. Obviously, Zora is presently in logic. But Guy Under the Bridge, Waterfall Ferry, Zora Ledge, all presently out of logic at the moment.
Yeah, there's really not a lot left. I think it's just Eastern area after this.
Yeah, in terms of in-logic checks, Saha diving into Eastern without a bow right now, plus Agina and Zora as in-logic checks. The players spying Lake Hylia Island, 50 rupees that they will neither get, nor do they need them. Ravis picking up another B to replace his full game.
I don't think as the splash delete, I don't think is possible yet, because there's no way to shortcut that one.
Yeah, that is a rough glove, but it's good knowledge for both players. Zora himself just 20 rupees. And we are seeing Cine head to Saha here.
It's pretty much the usual scam from Zora, the red 20.
And Ravis, meanwhile, this might be a mountain play from Ravis here. Not in logic without the lamp or the flute, but does have access to a decent amount of the mountain with that mirror. Mirror plus hammer combo.
Yeah, a lot of out of logic. So yeah, East Deathbound. I think even Hera is full clearable as well. To that fire rod.
Yeah, that fire rod could very well have helped spur Ravis in this direction. We saw on Sydney's side merely picking up the blue boomerang and Saha. That was it. So in terms of progression, it's either something here in Eastern or out in Nagina.
I mean, Agina with if Agina has like say Moon Pearl, that's actually not a bad thing because they're gonna get funneled into that really quickly.
Yeah, given that both players opted to orphan that, it's definitely not too bad. It's definitely Pendants and Thieves and Skull. I did not see which one was which. Well, there's a fun lamp there in Eastern, so that is putting what Ravis is presently doing into logic. there are the replacement for our boots.
Well, at least it would have been early boots this seed. You know, some seeds you got GT with that green 20.
Yeah, that being lamp there in Eastern is probably best case scenario for what Ravis is doing right now. Because assuming that that is the intended next level of progression and that the answer is up here on the mountain, that could actually be a pretty decent time save for Ravis.
So I think it's 2 items out of Eastern.
Yep, and a third one will
Armless,
be on the
yeah.
boss.
So they'll just get that whenever, since it is a crystal. So Ravis already up to Moldorm, already picking up both items, so don't need to care about the basement. Small key is either locking itself out or it's here, and the basement's gonna get the other dungeon item.
Nice try, game. We're not checking that. Crystal number 1 on the board for Ravis. Sine is not that far behind. Ravis gonna head here. First look at East Death Mountain, Spiral Cave, into Paradox Cave, and get a little look at Floating Island too.
Yeah, still looking for some Dark World access. What you probably don't want to see is the cape. The sword is fine, but you start getting worried about Aga with that Master Sword, but certainly not the cape.
Yeah, that would definitely be less than ideal here. Spiral Cave, not the answer either. Yeah, Ravis, gonna use some game knowledge, gonna pick up some additional bombs here.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, they got so much extra cash, even buying the heart. You know
Like
what?
it's a shop sanity seed. Who knew?
You got so much extra cash, might as well just throw some of it out. Get another, watch it, and like another 300 comes up or something.
I can't imagine that shop gets a lot of business,
No.
so I appreciate Ravis giving them some support.
Oh, didn't really need to buy the heart. End up getting 4 heart pieces anyway.
Well, okay. Flippers. More swords? Game. Hookshot. Oh, okay. Hello.
Wow, that was one rather loaded paradox cave there. So so I
Yeah,
guess
that's
hype cave I'm not looking optimistic for at this point.
no, I would say not. Wow, okay. Two swords, flippers, and hookshot. That's gonna be free access to those mitts on the sword ledge. Ravis gonna also knock out the guy under the bridge check here. But combined between the two players, there actually still isn't that many more things for Moon Pearl to pop up. Nice bombos. Guy under the bridge.
I mean, Bombos is nice for something like Cold Stare, but oh no, you're kind of we're almost out of checks at this point. Is it just Agina at this point?
Agina and King's Tomb.
Oh yeah. The Mist gives that. Okay.
I missed it on Cinny's
Oh,
side. Did he just go to Paradox and nope out?
Cine, I think he's just following along. I don't think he's missed anything.
Aside from the Harrowbeat? Because he caught up really quick if that's...
Oh yeah. I don't think he might have just skipped Hera.
Yeah, okay. That's totally fair to check East Death Mountain, and that was exceptionally stacked, although I don't know. If I'm up there, I'm probably inclined to do it at that point. Ravis picked up his mitts. He's going to go check King's Tomb here. And Ravis has not seen Saha and Eastern, which is where Sine picked up the lamp that put the mountain checks in logic. And there's the Moon Pearl in King's Tomb. Cool sequence game.
Yeah, a little complicated to get to Dark World access, but there it is. So Aggro 1 is not in play for this seed. I was getting a little afraid when I saw that Tempered Sword Lamp combo.
Yeah. If they had Pearl early and something else, that would have been like really shouting Aga. Fortunately for both here, because Cine's gonna pick up his Pearl as well. They're both gonna have full Dark World access.
Yeah, Ravis immediately taking that Pearl mitts right into Dark Death Mountain. You may as well can pretty much full clear this place.
Yeah, I definitely like this play. Again, he's cleared almost the entirety of the mountain already. Knock out these Dark Death Mountain checks, get your TR medallion info, and then you can fully concentrate on the rest of the game. Especially with Mitt's Dark World access and those two dungeons in the west, Skull and Thieves being pendants.
Right, so Super Bunny with Burnout, that's actually good. So they might actually even throw in Spike Cave while they're at it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a nice extra find and check here. Hookshot Cave not really yielding much. And I think you noted on the tracker was Ether for TR? I actually missed it.
Yeah, it was Ether. So I'm
Okay.
gonna have to look for that at some point.
Alright, so yeah, Burna's nice enough. It at least allowed Ravis and probably Sine after him to clear out Spike Cave. But at the very least, that's peace of mind for both players. The mountain is not really terribly interesting anymore, so Ravis is going to start here. Looks like a hype cave start. Sydney's going to clean up the Hera jack and beat that he eschewed earlier. Nice book.
Wow, that's a lot of. Was that all? Is that all our 300s?
It's the fourth that they found, at least. So I'm actually not sure how many are in the pool.
I believe
They've
5.
gotten 4 of them.
I think 5. I think they had 3 before. I think Hype looked like just had the other 2.
Oh, if it had 2, then yeah, then they're totally done. Yeah, Raven's gonna take this book immediately. Go check Bombo's tablet.
That is not a bad idea. I'd probably just end up stacking. Well, Desert's a pendant, but we'll get a Gina as well. Actually, can stack a lot of these checks in, so it's convenient.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure if he will go check Agina. Yeah. Only because the Agina is kind of a route ender. I think Ravis is probably aiming to take this route either into Swamp right now. Yeah, that's where he's gonna go. And then see where he wants to head after this. He also does have Ice Palace as an option. In terms of crystals, all 3 of the pendant dungeons are available and beatable right now, which is always fun.
Yeah, I would assume they might do a pet check first, since they can beat Skull Woods. They just route in the pet check while they're at it.
Yeah, I think the hope right now is definitely going to be that something significant pops in one of these couple of crystal dungeons before you start having to make those tough calls. Fortunately, again, they have full Dark World access. They have a super early mirror, so it's going to make getting around a lot easier. An immediate map there to start Swamp Palace here for Ravis, so presently at least 5 items from Go mode. Those players still do need a bow, they still need the ice rod, they need a flute to get to Mire, they need Samaria, and we definitely know that Ether is needed. We don't know about Quake.
Yeah, that's still a bunch of stuff on the table needed, and yeah, so I think both players did do Spike Cave that had nothing. And yeah, we're gonna be seeing a lot of this Specky clip, a relatively newer trick. Perfectly legit. The whole point of it is to skip around the need for the hammer, which in this case is not relevant. It's just for time savings. He has a couple 300s in the hype cave, so it's just tons of money in there.
Oh, fun, a mushroom in Swamp Palace here for Ravis. He's heading straight for the back. Sydney's going to head to Swamp before doing these other checks. Equally legitimate route. We've seen 3 items on Ravis' side, plus a map and the big key. There will definitely be at least 2 items left behind in Swamp.
Yeah, at this point, I would assume Ravis is just gonna go back in. There's just way too much still needed for go mode. Very early. You might as well just be complete.
Nearly a 0 cycle there from Ravis here in his Argus fight. Last couple of ones just got in kind of an awkward position, but still very quickly done. And yeah, there's 3 items. So. Yeah, particularly without flute though, that mushroom is a very awkward check here. Doesn't really route in terribly well with anything that Ravis or Cine would probably want to be doing right now.
Yeah, and yeah, not surprising. Ravis right back into swamp. Got to do some cleanup work. Mushroom. I guess the best place you could route is if they're gonna do like pyramid ledge, catfish. Probably the best chance to route it at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know. At least definitely from a playing side too. There's always that fun decision: do you go back in or not into swamp? I kind of like the seeds where it'll like make the decision for you. It's like you got 3 items and you're still 5 5 from go. You're going back in. At least it's easy. And Ray just finding a second bottle there in the big chest. Ravis did not hit the blocks. And he realized that. He hit the switch to change the blocks. Alright. That has happened to all of us, and fortunately for Ravis, he noticed it before he was hookshotting across left side swamp, so...
Yeah, that would cost at least another 30 seconds at least. Maybe more. But here,
yeah,
only a few seconds.
it's just a very, very frustrating thing. But again, fortunately, Ravis was able to rectify his mistake. Cine, again, very swift elimination of these Argus puffs. Before the last couple were problematic, but takes care of Argus for crystal number 2. Left side swamp, nothing.
Yeah, there's a lot of options here. Let's see. It looks like Ravens might be heading straight over the ice.
Yeah, fully clearable crystal. Obviously, less fun when you don't have Samaria to do Icebreaker. But again, without Flute, this is arguably as convenient a time to do it. Knock it out for crystal number 3, hopefully. Meanwhile, Cine is, as expected, following Ravis's lead back into Swamp's going to pick up a bottle and Sadness on left side Swamp.
Yes, the the fight. Hopefully, they got bombos, they got fire rod, they got that green potion, so that's can play the range game with Cold Stare, and hoping they find either like somebody even like a bottle fairy would be nice, give them some safety, or red. I think Ravis has a red potion.
Yeah, Ravis bought the red up in the Paradox shop. So immediate big key here in ice in the penguin room, which I always forget about my ice palace logic, but I think that means it's Samaria locked, or is it hook locked? I forget. Could be hook locked. Fortunately, they have hook shot.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about the logic. I mean, I feel like, okay, if they had to go through that hookshot room, then it's probably hookshot locked.
Sine had to take a little bit extra time here in Swamp to go pick up an additional small key. Very nice job by Ravis with the Ice Palace bomb jump. Little low on health, but again, as you noted, he's got a lot of firepower.
We got that Kana Burna. Use that for kind of like iframes. Any safeties you got, trying to pop them in here. Yeah, this might be hookshot locked just by the logic of things, because they don't have any keys so far, and it could just both be on the right side of ice.
Sine followed Swamp by checking Bombo's tablet. It's giving us a desert ledge look to it's just arrows. We're going to see Agina for the first time in this seed about 35.5 minutes in. So it will be interesting to see where Sine heads after this. Just bombs and Agina.
And I don't think we've pulled any items out of ice yet. To my or was it one item? I think
they've
one.
definitely gotten
it
at
is
least
bombs.
one.
Yeah, it was bombs or something. Okay. So let's see. This chest here. Nope, nothing there.
Yeah, Sine a little bit short on bombs, just wants to be 100%. Here goes that quick upgrade fairy again. Players, no shortage of money in the seed.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about the strict logic of this, if this is, hookshot locked, or... I'm thinking it is, but it's luckily not relevant.
Yeah, I think it was with the big key in the penguin room, but I could be wrong. Yeah, ice has not been yielding terribly much here. Ray was doing an excellent job of making full use of his hookshot and a lot of awkward rooms in Ice Palace.
Yeah, so Ice Palace, pretty much empty in terms of progression. It's just junk items. So you're really just in here for the crystal.
Yeah, and you have to go the long roundabout way to get it too. So we will see where these two players opt to head here. Again, there's a large cluster of available options in West Dark World. 2 pendant dungeons, Village of Outcasts, Smith Chain, none of which are probably super appealing. Puffs got away from Ravis for a little bit, but he did a good job of keeping space, making use of that Fire Rod and Tempered Sword to take them out for crystal number 3.
Yeah, so it looked like it was even Samaria locked on top of it. And had a... Well, no, you had to do it vanilla. You had to do it the vanilla way. The Coldstair had a small key. So you just had to do it the normal route. Yeah, I'm not sure about... Yeah, I really don't know the full key logic to ice. It gets pretty weird. What constitutes, like, locked by items. But yeah, Colt's there just having the other small key.
We're just going to use the portal to head up here to CAC. So he's going to head, going to see whether he's going to head into Village of Outcasts or up into Skull Woods and go down here.
Okay, chat confirming and looking like Ice was both hookshot Samaria locked. It's not too often I see both of that.
No, although I guess that is kind of interesting. Obviously, Samaria was guaranteed to be available in some form or fashion.
Okay, Ravis now into Green Pendant Skull Woods here, so interesting play to go into the Pendant dungeon, see if maybe progression, because not uncommon that Skull Woods, even just 2 items, will have something in it.
Yeah, having already again cleared out Pipe Cave down to Swamp, closest thing to routing a lot of stuff together would be Skull Woods down through Dig Game and Stumpy, but Ravis taking us straight to the back. Again, as you noted, it's Green Pendant, and meanwhile, Cine makes quick work of Cold Stare on his side for Crystal number 3.
Yeah, that was very clean. I just had those puffs just trapped in the corner and just never let them out of there.
And upshot here for Ravis in this play. Again, comes with the Green Pendant. He has to go back to Pod Eastern later anyway. Comes with the ability to check Pedestal, because as we noted, the Pendant dungeons are all beatable and in logic right now. And most of the other options are, frankly, just not that amazing and fun anyway, so...
Yeah, so this, hopefully, maybe just hoping Moth has the other item, and that would make a quick exit out of Skullwoods. Wow, that was a fast Moth fight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. That's really good there.
That's some remarkable time save. You don't have to touch any part of the front of Skullwoods.
And yeah, this is why you see a lot of people just rush the back when they can. You luck out, get the whole back, both items, and you're out. Yeah, the whole front is just a bunch of small keys and stuff you don't need.
So we're gonna get a check of Pedestal here, and no, Pedestal is dead. Just some money, and I don't really think that Ravis is in need of money right now, so...
Yeah, that's going to make it a little interesting what they're going to do with the other 2 pendants, because now, Desert Thieves, Thieves, to get all the items, you're going to have to go into the back. I mean, are they really willing to do that?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, with where they are, Thieves definitely feels like a play from both players. Whether it's a beat or not, we're definitely going to see dives here. Desert is now very isolated until they get the flute. There's a bow and just sitting in a chess game.
All right, that's great for Ravers, because that will let him route Pod Eastern. So if he does Eastern first, he'll just pick up that lamp to make full logic of both dungeons.
Yeah, good point. I forgot about that lamp. Cine, meanwhile, again, has been following in Ravis's footsteps for a little while here. Made the exact same play to the back of Skull. So he's already got 1 item in tow. He's getting some less than friendly Moth RNG here. You gotta be careful, down to 1 heart. And just got wedged by spikes.
Yeah, Mothra's just not being very cooperative, just kind of shielding itself behind all those spikes. It's just a rough fight there, and the conveyors were probably not helping with the direction.
No, Moth just got in some really tight spots there. Ravis did a really great job of getting those early hits and just controlling Moth. And again, that comes with a ton of time and practice, and both of these players are exceptionally skilled. But Ravis just got some ugly RNG, and that's a fun shovel. And half magic, yeah. Ravis saying this is more than enough of these down for me.
Yeah, 2 items makes the back a lot less attractive. I mean, had he only gotten 1 item, maybe might consider a dive. That'd still be plus minus, but 2 items is way less likely. And there we go, Cine getting that rematch win there.
Yeah, that bow and chess game pretty much made Ravis's mind up for him. Couldn't really turn down the 4 quick items in the front there of Thieves. So this makes total sense. You've got fully clearable pod for Ravis. He hasn't even seen Eastern yet. Although he does know that there is something either in Eastern or in Agina, which he still hasn't seen, that is putting his mountain trip from earlier into logic.
Yeah, okay, we got green pendant turn in. Let's see if that yields anything here. Oh, he hasn't even searched this. Oh, nope, just hard piece. Oh, so that's actually good. He just routes all this in one go, because, yeah, that's just a boomerang back there. Yeah, so Ravis is going to get Eastern Pod, and I think that's also both red crystals, so that will also get the whole pyramid area. Might get mushroom, catfish. He might be able to just get all this in one pretty smooth route here.
Yeah, it definitely ties in some of those awkward things that we mentioned earlier that were hard to really justify as one-offs or going out of your way to route them in. But Pyramid Fairy, yeah, into a couple of those, or the mirror check on Graveyard Ledge, Mushroom turn in, Catfish. Mail upgrade on Bumper Ledge. Don't believe we actually saw that on Ravis's side, but...
No, I think he just went out Light World after Skullwoods. So Graveyard Ledge, we're going to see for the first time here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Cine heads after this, if he's just going to try to make sure that Graveyard Ledge doesn't get too heavily orphaned and then heads to Village of Outcasts, or continues, and that's a shield that Cine does not want. I did not say that this item was in pod, did you?
Bow locked is a big key.
Ah, thank you.
So they had to logically... Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah,
cool bow locked bow game.
Strictly bow locked bow. So, I mean, Mimic Clip, that would be able to work around this, but the other bow is free, luckily.
Yeah, Ravis is gonna, with that early big key, Ravis is gonna push the back immediately here. Did go into pod first, so he still does not have that lamp from Eastern Palace, but again, the level of skill we've seen on Ravis's side thus far has been pretty spectacular. So these couple of dark rooms, he's surely very well practiced in. Cine, meanwhile, is knocking out all of these kind of dreadful checks here. He just has not yet had anything to show for it.
Yeah, the mushroom did not have anything. So you have catfish. Anything on the catfish today? And nope, nothing there.
So it's back to Sank for Cine. Probably going to head right back to, or head into Village of Outcasts here. At which point he will get his bow, but will again be chasing Ravis by a little bit. He's using some bomb strats. Look like maybe 2 of those hit, possibly 3. Oh, that's a required ether medallion on Helmasaur. So crystal number 3 on the board for Ravis still does have 3 items remaining here in Pod. They're still looking for Samaria Ice Rod, a flute, and we do not know about Quake. We won't know until we get said flute as to what the Meyer medallion will be.
Okay, Cine also dipping the front of these. Let's see again. It's gonna be a hard sell to go to the back, but that would be interesting because if something happens to be in the back of Thieves, that could be a big thing. Potential last locations.
Yeah, for Cine, it'd be interesting to see where he thinks he stands right now. Because the play into Skull didn't net anything, the north checks didn't really net anything. He just found a bow for free. Yeah, he's going to continue here.
No, I actually don't mind this play, because if he just keeps following Ravis, that may not be too good, because Ravis has been rounding really well, so need to try to find something to set apart here.
Yeah, Ravis, meanwhile, picking up a gold sword here, so gold sword and silver's in Palace of Darkness today.
So, in terms of offense, they're pretty much set. Ganon's basically going to be free. Free 1-in-1 cycle and all that.
Yeah, players, they're kind of glass cannons right now, still on green mail. Oh, nice single arrow. We do know where one mail upgrade is. Hanging out on Bumper Ledge, but don't have the cape, and it's also not something that these 2 players would be going out of their way for. To answer Beer, Lamp is just hanging out in Eastern Palace. So Ravis pushed the mountain out of logic, but got the rest of his Dark World access. Cine did Saha into Eastern, and all it came out with was a lamp. So Ravis will pick that up here as he does make his way into Eastern after getting the last item in Pod.
Yeah, like you mentioned, I just went through the dark room like kind of it was nothing. They almost have like a mental map of the room, just how far to move and how to navigate through all that.
Yeah, that is learning dark rooms is definitely a challenge, especially when you're just starting out. The more you do it, obviously, just like with anything, the easier it comes to remember a lot of the muscle memory stuff. But especially for newer players, I always recommend having some kind of resource on hand, dark room map. Even if you just give it a quick glimpse as a reminder, it can help. But for players like Ravis who have clearly practiced this game to a great degree, they can make some of these rooms look really simple.
So Ravis finally picking up that lamp to put the whole seed in logic, at least the whole mountain.
Oh, hello,
Ooh, there
Maria
we
on
go. That
Pendant
is
Blind.
potential break. Cine is gonna need there.
What's interesting now, though, is that's an awkward. What's an awkward thing for sure. But for Ravis, the largest congregation of his available checks is up in that village in Thieves area.
Yeah, that's. I mean, had pedestal been required, that would not have been an issue. But because it's not, this will be interesting to see if Ravis will go back in there, because I'm trying to see. I don't if he didn't do it the first time. I'm trying to see if he might consider doing it on the backup.
I think if Ravis gets funneled back to that area, he's probably going to do it. Oh wow, that every time I watch Ravis play, he pulls out some kind of weird strat that I've never seen. And double Igor kill, boomerang, grab with the small key. Okay. But yeah, I think as we noted earlier, these two dungeons here, Pod and Eastern, do yield the 256 crystals. That leads to a route from Pyramid, Fairy, Pyramid, and then into some of the stuff that we did see come up empty on Cine's side. Yeah, as Swellcook's noting in chat, the relative position of Flute right now is a pretty key one here.
I mean, at least one advantage with that cane there is that Turtle Rock is not in play at all. So at least you don't have to do a whole mountain climb just to find nothing there, because you can't even get in. And if Flute is, say, in how to be locked behind the red cane, I don't think there's a way to do it. So the Flute is probably just gonna could be in like the Smith chain or something.
Ravis potentially trying to negotiate the price of the big bomb.
Even though you got tons of cash, it still can try to save money here.
It's just good business. Sure, the game's giving you 300 rupee drops, but you don't have to give them all to the bomb guy.
Okay, so at least not going to care what Meyer entry is.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing off the list. So if there was a no mode, yeah, we're still looking for Ice Rod and Flute. Cine does presently have that advantage in the Cane of Samaria. Ravis still needs to get back to Pendant Thieves Town for that. But we've seen all of these checks here on Cine's side already. So Cine's finishing up, beating Pod here. He's going to clean up Eastern, having already been there. And it'll be interesting to see what decision he makes after this. Because the other overworld options that are remaining are very much unpleasant. Time consuming, long. Making that TR play definitely would be appealing to me. Again, 2 from go. You do run the risk, of course, of striking out and having to beat TR twice, which is the downside. Yeah, so Ravis. Again, checked out Pyramid Fairy. Got Quake. It's got nothing from these other checks. It's going to give Graveyard Ledge a look here.
I think, let's see, for medallions, yeah, Bombos was Man Under the Bridge. Ether is on Helmasaur, so Cine will get that in just a moment. And we just saw Quake and Pyramid Fairy.
Alright, so Ravis saving quitting after Graveyard Ledge. He's going to head to Pendant Desert here. Potentially. Ravis has also not seen Agina. We did see it on Cine's side. It is nothing.
Yeah, this is an interesting play on Ravis. Now, if he happens to find Flute in Desert, that's going to be rather interesting. It's probably gonna swing things back his way, because you really not gonna do Pendant Desert on its own. You like to pair it with Mire, if possible.
Yeah, Flute. Flute in Desert would definitely add some additional spice to this one. Yeah, Ravis has not done a decent amount of stuff. Still has, yeah, back of Thieves, Smith Chain. I don't actually know if he. I don't actually remember if he did C-shaped house.
Yeah, I think they both did the village part, but they haven't done. I don't even think Big Game has been done. Stumpy hasn't been done.
No,
K45. These
Yeah.
are some checks that I think runners tend to do pretty early.
Yeah, then they both got the shovel. That's still sitting out there too.
Oh yeah. So that's all stacked in one go here, and that's Landmo with the other item, I believe.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Ravis's call here. Again, he's committed to come to this area. He's going to see through at least one more check, whether it's beating Landmo or just doing Agina.
Well, if he's going all the way around, this might just be going right to the back. I'm just going to commit all the way to Landmo.
Yeah, he needed some way out of the dungeon, unfortunately, with book access, which not fun.
Yeah, because I think otherwise he would have just gone out to the right. But he's just going to see this through in case, Flute is here. There's not going to be able to shortcut this.
And, again, he's three from go. Cine being 2 from go. Makes sense. Yeah, and Cine is caught up on the crystal count. Both players now with 4 on the board. But Cine does have that advantage of the Cane of Samaria right now. Gonna go do the green pendant turn in before making his next decision.
So nothing on landmills. Unfortunately, that was a little bit of a time sink there. Had that been flute, that would have been massive. I don't want to say it'd be game, but that would probably tilt the scales back into his favor because that just a dead end pendant desert would just be ugly to have that flute.
Yeah, either of the two outstanding items being in desert would actually probably be really, really gross. But unfortunately for Ravis, that struck out again, as we saw. Nothing there. Cine is going to follow up with the Pyramid Fairy check that we did see on Ravis' side, so he will get his third and final medallion. So it looks like Ravis is going to aim to start his checks here, heading north. Oh, well, maybe not. Yes. Just getting bothered by the obnoxious enemies by the whirlpool. Yeah, so we're finally gonna see K45 and Stumpy and all of our friends down here.
Imagine Flute was just sitting here this whole time. It's like, whoops. Well, just more cash.
Alright, so Cine is saving and quitting to the mountain. Again, this makes sense, especially given the way he's played. Oh!
Ooh.
Oh, no. Well, then.
And that was sitting there the whole time. That's not
Yeah.
going to feel good.
No. Yeah, because for Cine now, that is a guaranteed second trip into TR, even if he does find his flute in here. And yeah, that ice rod is honestly, of the three items that's sitting out there, for Ravis, probably the best of the three for him to find in that situation, because it opens literally nothing. And we know he has to get to Pendant Blind here to pick up Samaria.
I mean, this is going to be the best time to do this with the if he's going to combine it with Smith Chain.
Yeah, absolutely. Knock out the Smith hammer pegs right now. Yeah, best case for Ravis right here would probably be Flute in Turtle Rock. Have these couple checks strike out and get funneled into back into Thieves Town.
Yeah, because Thieves is not really going to get any faster to do at this point. You might as well just rush in there and take it out.
Oh, there is the flute on the Smith.
Boy.
Interesting.
Oh boy, so this TR play is, oh man, that's not going to do much at this point.
Nope, it is just going to be a full clear all the way through Laser Bridge for Cine, and he's going to come up with nothing.
Yeah, I mean, all Ravis has to do here, I think he just has to go into Thieves. That's all he needs to do now. Because that should be go mode.
As long as Ravis gets his self into Thieves and beats Blind, he would be in go.
Now, to be fair, Samaria is not a bad go mode item because you cannot touch TR at all. Meyer is not going to be too attractive. Maybe just Meyer area, but let's see what he wants to do with this. He might just go into the Meyer area. Let's see what he opts to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this makes sense. You clear out Meyer shed, you clear out checkerboard. I mean, you could conceivably see the Meyer dive too. Yeah, but for Ravis outside of this Meyer area, again, checkerboard, diving into Meyer. All he has left, I believe, besides going back to Thieves, would be Ether Tablet.
Yeah, I think at that point I would almost think he would do Thieves first. At that point, because
Yeah,
I mean, Ether Tablet, you could try to route it in, but that's still.
It's two items versus one. One less mountain climb potentially. And I mean, this is a totally reasonable play here for Ravis. 2 items in Meyer. He is Samaria from Go. If Samaria is here, he's in Go and can beat this dungeon and just, push TR hard.
In this case, he even might be if he have like a vanilla Meyer, that may not be a bad thing for him because no savings for Cine in that case.
Yeah, that's true.
Still, he'll have to play the whole thing. Or even finding both items early in Meyer would be good because there's okay, not in here, gotta look somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Get those 2 items, find the big key, and get out and get back to your last couple of outstanding checks. Yeah, for both players, basically, what they will have left is what the other player has done to get those pieces that the other is missing here.
And Cine, TR having the cape and powder, which actually is pretty good for Cine because that powder should get him back to Smith Chain because that's full clearable, so he'll get both the flute and ice rod.
Yeah,
along the way.
Cine doesn't really have that much left. He has, I think, basically all that stuff we just saw on Ravis' side, Smith Chain into the mirror checks, plus Desert. And so those are obviously way more attractive, especially since he does not presently have flute. So Desert is just a really bothersome potential location. Yes, and again, the bad news that fortunately TR in terms of items not really helpful. He doesn't know that the powder is irrelevant. But yeah, so this is potentially unfortunate for Cine here, and good for Ravis.
Yeah, going for isolated desert. Oh, I mean, you might be thinking that maybe your opponent isn't going to go out of the way to make this check, but we know that Ravis did make this check and it didn't really have anything. So that's just going to be an offset at that point. And don't know what's... only have one item out of Meyer, and I'm probably going to guess Vitreous probably has the small key, but we'll see.
And thank you to Shinmaru for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders, to this matchup here between CrossKeese, represented by Cine, and Team Hime, represented by Ravis. This has been a pretty exciting seed, a very loaded mountain to give the players a lot of Dark World access, and some Dark World divergence here that has led to some differing go mode items. Ravis needs to get to Pendant Thieves Town. He's going to knock out everything before Pendant Thieves Town. For Samaria on blind, Cine needs to get into the Smith Chain Mirror checks to pick up his Ice Rod and K45 and Flute on the Smith.
Okay, so after Ether Tablet, is it literally just Thieves for Ravis?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think if there are any other checks left.
I don't think Ravis has anything left. And for Cine, all he has left is those various checks that we saw on Ravis's side. If Cine had, pushed those, I think it would have been advantage for him. But this desert dive here, which I think is understandable. Cine was just a little bit behind Ravis in a lot of the dungeons when they were lockstep, but not terrible. But he did take that unfortunate death on Moth, which has led him to, at least as it seems, to be a little more aggressive in some of these other plays.
All right, so there we go. That's pretty much should have been last location for Ravis to back independent thieves. But yeah, Sydney's gonna have to, let's see. So Smith Chain, I don't even think he's done Dig Game either. So that would probably have to be put in there. That's gonna sink some time as well.
Yeah, I think that they both left all of that stuff, which is pretty funny in retrospect. So depending where he starts, it'll either be Ice Rod or Flute for Go mode. For Cine, the better case scenario is probably to go that route that Ravis did, going south, up into Village of Outcast to get the Ice Rod first before Flute. Cine taking out Pendant Lambo for just 20 rupees, getting the bad news that Desert is unfortunately barren in this seed. Alright, so this is the path that is going to be more beneficial for Cine here. So Ravis is finishing up. Thieves still has to obviously beat blind. Plus side is, I believe the small key is locking itself here in Thieves, so it's one less check he's going to have to do.
Yeah, this is actually going to be pretty close. The big key in Meyer was just in the lobby, so that's not too bad. So Cine will get a little bit of time back there.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty tight. It is largely going to come down to execution here, maybe some GT routing. Cine does have to knock out a few of these, a couple straight checks before he does turn in the Smith, but that's just a couple checks away here. Meanwhile, Ravis is just a couple rooms away from fighting blind. Well, Kix does know Ravis does have to go through all of TR, though, so that is a good point. That Meyer big key vice, the TR layout. Cine does have to retract the dungeon.
Yeah, I don't remember if TR, the laser bridge, had a small key or not.
Yeah, we'll definitely opt to not remembering that layout terribly well, unfortunately. And there is Samarion blind for Ravis. Actually, his last location. Always feels fun. Again, totally reasonable given the options that were out there to not push the back of thieves. So, Ravis, the first of our two runners to hit go mode, and Cine is right behind. Gonna do the pegs first.
At least for Ravis just rushes to the back, but yeah, Cindy will get a little bit of time back. Doesn't have to do cutscene room. Doesn't have to do some of the other checks. Just goes get the lobby big key. Be on his way. Let's see how Ravis wants to route TR. If he can maybe steal a key, can he just skip laser bridge? Let's see if he can do that.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of good talk in chat here about the various time advantages and time spent to do things. Hard to tell, but we know that this has been a very interesting race with a lot of divergence, and it's interesting that after all that we've seen, the various choices, two players have come together fairly closely, and it's still super tight coming down the stretch. Maybe it's going to be the first of our two runners here to take on Vitreous. Silver arrows make it nice and easy. That's crystal number 6 on the board for Ravis. Sina using some nice Samaria strats there, Meyer 2.
All right, Ravis is going to be rushing TR. And now, to be fair, I think the lobby chest it's not the slowest, but it still does take a little bit of time to get to it. Usually in their routing, it's kind of like midway along the general path runners take through Meyer.
Yeah, especially since Cine is probably going to be checking the North Torches room too to see if that does give the cue as to whether the big key would be vanilla. Ravis making his way up the mountain. Again, save for mail upgrades, this seed has been more than generous in terms of firepower and safety.
Yeah, I think even the logic wasn't even that bad, to be honest. A lot of the items kind of routed together, and I don't think it was too hard to find the correct line to take to get to most of these items.
Yeah, no, honestly, the only one that kind of feels gross is Samaria on blind. You know, the stuff on the Smith chain K45, that was doable. And again, both players made very reasonable plays with that free bow and chest game to go knock out Pod and Eastern, and had plenty of other options after that. Cine did take a little bit of time trying to use that door extension state to dash back into the lobby. Had to run around instead. But he's on his way to Vitreous. Ravis, meanwhile, picking up those couple of small keys on the fire rod locked side of the front of TR. And Cine having some issue with his attempted spooky setup too, unfortunately. A note in chat that he may have lost it prior to that, so that's a little unfortunate. Oh, so it was a vanilla big key here in Turtle Rock. I used the lamp. Okay, thank you. Alright, that is Vitreous down for Cine. Crystal number 6, so he is going to be heading back up the mountain as well. Join Ravis in TR shortly here. Ravis picking up the big key in Lava Chest. Again, Cine has already been into Turtle Rock. He's going to be able to push his way all the way to Trinex.
Okay, Raver's going to be going out the back, which I believe that is correct. The big chest, I believe, had a small key. And does not have to do Mimic Cave, so that saves a little bit of time there.
Yeah, the vanilla big key plus the couple items in the front. Ravis being prudent there. Cine has made his way up the mountain. There's that required small key there for Ravis. Second check of Laser Bridge.
Yeah, both players did see that mirror shield, but opted not to get it.
Yeah, I forget where was the visible shield that they passed up on.
Graveyard Ledge.
Oh, Graveyard Ledge, that's right. Very nice job by Ravis, getting to the back, quickly taking out the heads without the big head coming out there. Nice zero cycle. Spin and a slash. Yeah, so Ravis is going to be the first player here to beat TR, get crystal number 7, and head to GT. Cine has, again, doesn't have to do anything else here in TR other than rush the boss, so he has made up a good amount of time, but he's still chasing at the moment. And
yeah, this is going to come down to where that big key is.
And we have some numbers in chat here in terms of folks guessing where they hope to see the big key, predict where the big key here is in GT. I see that you have a guess yourself, Pixcalimer.
Yeah, I think I put 7. Just pick a somewhat early check. That's probably like either Dark Magician or Compass Room or something like that, depending which way they start. But this is gonna be pretty close here. Got the full 22 checks to go through. 22 checks potentially, at least available.
Number 1 is a small key on the torch. Sine has finished TR. So you'll be joining Ravis and GT very shortly.
Yeah, it's probably about a minute and a half or so.
Yeah, according to mine,
That's good. That's good to see that.
Yeah, it was about a minute and like 4 seconds.
Not gonna complain on that little extra bit of safety, getting the other male the other tunic in Stalfos room.
Yeah, you'll definitely accept that.
Okay, so Sine into GT. It'd be interesting if he starts to the right. No, at least start to the left, and because if he decides to do a Dark Magician, this could decide things where depending on where that big key is.
Yeah, that would certainly be very interesting. I believe that's number 7 there for Ravis. Just some more bombs. Cine is killing the Stalfos, though. I believe that was number 10 in Rando room.
Yeah, it was 10.
Looks like Clemming UK guessed 10. Congratulations, you win a lifetime supply of amazing Kaz Boots seeds like this one. Just rush Pendant Blind and you're in good shape. So fortunately for both players, they were at the very least rando rushing here, so we'll pick up the big key in good time, but similar route means that Ravis is going to maintain his lead here as he begins to climb.
We'll pick about 132.20 into the gauntlet for Ravis.
Yeah, Ravis entered or exited TR with about a margin of around 65 seconds or so. And it's been pretty similar here. And they probably needs a little bobble or so in order to catch up. Landmo 2 being elusive here for Ravis is potentially a little time that could be given back to Cine.
Yeah, it's about 70 seconds at this point. So yeah, as you said, it's pretty much about constant. At this point, the runners have probably practiced GT so much, it's just so routine that at this point it's just like second nature to do these climbs.
Yeah, it's a, especially at this level, it's a game of inches. Just a little thing here, a little thing there can swing some races. Again, Ravis does have a little bit of a buffer. He's maintained his lead. Again, if Cindy can one cycle the Landmos here, as he does, that's time save on that room at the very least. And Ravis, as Smirk was noting in chat, was down to just 3 arrows after that unfortunate Lanmo 2 fight, but good game knowledge there. Pick up that 5 pack. Makes quick work of Moldorm 2. And there's really nothing else that he could potentially even consider needing, so Ravis on the way to Agatu.
Yeah, in terms of inventory, pretty much have almost full inventory. Probably the only thing we don't know is where's the bug net. I think another bottle's still out there, and that might be about it, actually. Ooh, that's a nice diagonal on that double there.
Yeah, and if there wasn't a blue ball, it would have been interesting to see if Ravis could have swung a triple out of that. Very nice Agatu fight though by Ravis. Again, the only room he gave back pretty much any kind of time on the climb was Lanmo 2, and even that did not lose him that much. But Cine has made quick work of the climb as well. Ravis dropping in the hole at about 135.55. Yeah, gold sword, silver arrows, half magic, safeties if you want them. And Raven's not even playing around, just pull out that cape. Here in phase 3, the blink of an eye.
Yeah, you got all the safeties, you may as well use them. Get that cape out, and since those bats do 3 hearts on Blue Tunic, you know, in 2-hit KO range, you kind of don't want to take any chances.
And that is Ganon down for Ravis. So get your GGs in chat for Ravis and Team Hime. They are on the board for the first time this league season. First victory for Team Hime. Ravis finishing first in this race with official racetime.gg time of 1:37.18. And it was about a 64, still about that like same 64-second margin for when Cine dropped into this Ganon fight. So again, both players just did an outstanding job, but Ravis's lead was too much to overcome in this situation. We are joined in chat by the winner of today's race, Ravis. GG's, Ravis. Can't presently hear you.
Oh, now you should hear me.
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yo, GG's, guys. Thanks.
And quick GG's in chat as well for Cine, coming in second in this race, with official racetime.gg time of 1:38.25. Just a margin of, again, just 67 seconds. This was a great race. So any initial thoughts on the seed, Ravens?
It was a little strange, but in the end, you know, I heard that Senny had a completely problem on his side with the ice rod, I think, and with the flute. Yeah, unfortunately for me, it was Kane that you know was in such a bad position that I hard last locate that. But yeah, in the end, Rando is Rando, and looks like I got away with this one.
Yeah, the story of the two Gomos was very intriguing because you both had similar kind of clusters that you had left. Cine did take a death on Moth, which may have spurred his decision to push a couple of things early on that might have been like lower expected value, but could pay out. And one of those was beating Pendant Blind for Samaria. So he had that advantage over you for a considerable amount of time, um, but he also that cane did lead him to go clear out TR for nothing, unfortunately, and did a lot of stuff before the finally getting onto the mirror checks and Smith chain.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, yeah, it's a logical move. I mean, then this seat, it it is still bad to double dip TR, but not as bad as in other seats where you have like a real Gomo TR. This one had vanilla Bicky and stuff, so I pretty much had to check everything besides like 2 checks and Laser Bridge. But yeah, not doing Mimic Cave alone is like a massive time save there, and then not double dipping TR. But yeah, I mean, I had my own issues with like Ice Palace. No cane takes a lot of time. You know, I had to go the long way and stuff. And yeah, and not having it for Meyer the first time, and a couple of other locations where you probably can use it somehow. But overall, I think I did play kind of well. Overall, there were still some hiccups, but you have to expect those, of course. And other than that, yeah, you can get sent in a lot of different locations if you don't do like this pendant village area completely, pretty much. And you know, that's such a tough call to make because like you can save a lot of time by just not finishing all of that stuff. And this time it was all required.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was totally, and it, again, like your plays, as you noted, I mean, they made perfect sense. You get that free bow sitting there in chest game. You have the ability to clear out both 5-6 dungeons in Pod Eastern in one fell swoop. It's very, very reasonable to have left the stuff that you did, and you know, kind of same thing for Cine as well. Could you, as again, aside from beating thieves, he kind of followed you for a lot of the rest of the way before you guys diverged at the end. It was probably going to be pretty close to a photo finish if Cine had followed up TR with Smith Chain, but he opted to do that desert check that you had done earlier as well.
It is enticing when you look for the flute. You know, you get that book, like, and then you kind of want to, you know, make use of this specifically if you talk about the flute, right? So you have only one logical desert access. It feels like it could make sense, but unfortunately, yeah, for him there, that the flute wasn't there. And also, I think the reason he didn't do it was like if he gets the flute there, he can activate it without losing his portal and TR potentially if he like gets an ice rod along the way. But I don't know if you want to go up there again. So, but yeah, it is unfortunate for him, and I didn't feel great as well with how the seat went. Looking for that cane for ages, and also the ice rod and flute late.
Yeah, I mean, it totally makes sense. It was, aside from, you know, a couple of stacked areas early on, one of those seeds that you can definitely understand the feeling of being uneasy, saying like, when are these things going to show up? And
Yeah,
it just happened to basically all be clustered around Village of Outcasts, K45.
yeah, it
That
is
kind
weird.
of
It is
stuff.
like super weird when you get these mids there on Zora Ledge, and then there's only the flute behind that. That sometimes feels a little weird, but that's how rando sometimes goes.
Yeah, because I think I felt the seed was a bit linear in some ways. Because again, both of you kind of did the same checks, kind of following each other's tracks. It's just you get one item, you go to this area has another item, and you just kind of follow the item chain. Like you get bow, immediately take that into Pod Easter, and then the other bow just happens to be sitting there directly bow locked.
Yeah,
Just
that
kind of
was
nice
also
and convenient.
something.
Lamp in Easterns, okay, that just puts all that in logic, and I think the mountain for you in logic anyway. But you know, just it's yeah, it's just kind of where to, and even like the K45, Smith chain. Stumpy. These are checks that are done early, but the routing kind of took you to other areas first. You kind of had to route in some of these normally earlier checks later on.
Yeah, getting the book on Hype Cave and then doing Swamp, is like, okay, it is rough to go to like the complete Pennant Village area and then do Smith Chain as well. Like you maybe want to go there when you need only one item for go mode. So the moment you find it, you can go out, because like 2 or more items is like, okay, do I go away? Do I check more here? It's like always a hard decision to make, and so it makes sense to like forfeit like the South Dark World. Like we both did it for a long time, and in the end, like 3 items were in that area, so it was never a good time to go there anyway. And when you get that bow and chest game, go front or Thief Star, you get 2 items. You're like, all right, I have Red Crystal Pot in Eastern. I know there's like some Mountain Logic in Eastern or in Agina, so you kind of want to go and check that as well. And yeah, then I don't know when I come back there.
On the plus side, though, this one worked out for you, and it gets your Team Hime on the board this season, which hopefully is pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely. We needed some points. Like we knew the first 2 opponents are pretty much everyone is very hard, but these 2, we know a lot of the runners, and it was a rough start getting 2-0'd, and then last race, Kermit having that one skip that ended up being very unfortunate for him. So in the end, I'm glad I could get some points for us, and hopefully we can follow up in the next weeks.
Yeah, and your division, the Mizrameyer division, looking really competitive right away. And as you noted, everybody's really tough. Next week, you guys are playing, I believe, Potato Pouch.
Yeah.
So that's another very solid team. ALTTPR.
Yeah. Oh boy.
You could argue that pretty much every game, every week, feels like a final week, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like a grind. There's no easy opponents. It's
Exactly.
just like you have to earn, and I think every team feels that way. You got to earn every single win. Records are not. Don't look at the records; they're not relevant. Because if you're taking losses by like a couple minutes, that doesn't really say much.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more.
I do see one match on the schedule for your teams next week, 2C against Brogor on Thursday at 2:10 Eastern. Do you know who's playing in the other matchup between you two?
Yeah, it's gonna be me versus Skelly. Me versus Tam.
Okay.
But I'm gonna schedule today probably, or like I'm gonna talk to him today again. I've been busy the last couple of days, so didn't get the match yet on the schedule.
Yeah, those should be 2 really outstanding matches next week. And again, this season in this league is so competitive that it's been outstanding to watch. I think that's all that I have. Pixcalibur, do you have anything else for Rabus?
No, nothing else. GG's both of you. That's a very close race, which just kind of came down to GT. I mean, that big key was, say, on the right side. It would have possibly changed things. We don't know how it would have played out. You routed the same, but it could have been anyway. It could have gone at the end.
Yeah. No, thanks guys for having us. GG's to Cine once again, and good luck for the rest of the league. And thanks for chat for hanging out. And of course, Pixel, you double jobbing here with the tracking as well. So thanks for that as well. And catch you another time.
All right, GG's Rabus.
Okay, so finishing up, I'm going to wrap up here. So finishing up a very close race here, thanks to co-commentator Artie Stark 2942 and the SG3 chat. I got a lot of games today. Got probably one in progress on SpeedGaming 2, Skeel versus Tam, and a few more coming up on the various SpeedGaming channels in the next even like couple hours. So if you want more casual boots racing action, you can head over to those SpeedGaming channels and check them out. Anything else you have to add?
No, this was a lot of fun again, Pixcalibur. Thanks so much for coming with me, and again for the tracking, and to the runners in chat. This was a lot of fun, and as you noted, there's one match going on now. There's another couple starting in 10 minutes, and yeah, a lot of action. This league has been off to a great start, and happy to be a part of it.
Okay, so from everyone, and again, SpeedGaming 3, against Pixcalibur, my co-com, Stark 2942, we'll see you guys next in the next race.